Hello and welcome to the Thinking Cap Solutions podcast. We talk about everything content, audience and engagement. Welcome to 2025. Looking fresh, looking fit, Mickey.
Great to see you, Corey. Episode 1, pumped for the year ahead.
Good
Vibe.
I love this time of the year. Like any good business or brand, we're no different. Preview, review, how we've gone,
Set
what we
your
think
goals
coming
and
up,
off you go.
all that kind of stuff. Which made it easy when we're coming up with an episode today, which was over coffee, the 5 sure things that we see for 2025, and starting off with, and no surprise because we're massive ambassadors and endorse it, podcasting, the tide continues to rise, Mickey.
Yeah, look, it might be a bit of a doom moment to some listening, but podcasting continues to grow. The numbers were significant last year. I think we referenced in one of our podcasts that I think in Australia it's over 50% of the population listening to podcasts. In America, it was just shy of 50%. The numbers are well over 50% now globally and going to continue to grow. Now, why is that important to know? Well, if you're a brand and a business, having a podcast as part of your overarching strategy should be critical, and it's a must-do. Why? Because it's a growing platform. There's a significant audience looking for them, and it's just another way for you to share your brand story.
And I reckon we saw a real spike during the American election because that came to prominence, didn't it, with podcasters seemingly driving the result for Donald Trump, and we're about to have an Australian election come up as well. It's become the platform of influence.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you want to have a podcast as part of the center of who you are and what you do, or it's just a complementary part of your overall brand strategy. The value in it is the ability to share a story with an audience, no matter how niche the product is or the brand is. Mainstream media like TV and radio aren't going to give you your own show to tell your story, but the ability to have a podcast to do that, there's an audience out there, and as long as the story is interesting enough and executed beautifully, then it's a fantastic way to market.
Yeah, and referencing another episode, we talked about personal brand, and that is also on the rise. And having a podcast is absolutely a great way to amplify that personal brand, which continues to grow as well. Sure thing number 2, pretty much an extension of the audio solution. We've seen this and the appetite for it, and that's the visual for your audio.
More than ever, there's an expectation from those that consume podcasts that now want to see a visual element. Again, if we want to look at the stats, midway through last year, audio was miles in front. As we closed out 2024, it's approaching kind of 45% of those that listen to podcasts want to have a visual element to it. Our encouragement here is that any brand or business needs to be thinking about, if I've got a podcast, how can I bring it to life visually? And look, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. You can record your podcast visually in full and people watch the whole episode and hear it. The other element of that is you can just do clips, which is like 8 seconds of video pockets and grabs of your podcast that you use across your social platforms.
Such a great tool, because if you've got an hour of content, that could, for your socials, give you a month's worth of content of just clipping those little 20-second, 30-second clips. Sure thing number 3, don't be an AI hater, be an embracer.
Yeah, my experience when I talk to people about it, they're either in one or two camps, which is totally don't get it and or scared of it. And there's those that fully understand it and absolutely loving and embracing it. To that extreme, we know someone that AI pretty much runs their world. It's everything from running their calendar to replying to emails to writing their scripting to their speeches and everything.
I reckon I've had a text message from him with AI. So I think there's a fine line between it being a wonderful tool and you actually becoming the AI.
Yeah, look, there's clearly a grey area, and you can look at it as in all the dangers and the negatives to AI, or you can simply understand that, look, this is not going away. And in fact, the branding of AI is kind of fairly newish in mainstream media, but AI has been around for a bloody long time, and it's there to make your life a lot easier. So used well, it can be so effective for you. So if you're really time poor, there's some fantastic AI out there that can really help you. If you're a small business and don't have big budgets to employ a significant amount of staff, then guess what? It can use you, can help you with that as well. So it's about finding the right platforms of AI and the right type of AI that can improve your business.
Yep.
But if you're not using it now, then you are absolutely holding yourself back for great potential in 2025 because it's fantastic.
Sure thing number 4, Mickey, something that we lived and breathed in our media careers, and that's having an always-on mentality.
That expectation that there's always an audience out there hungry to consume content and interact with your brand by having an always on just means you're having a great consideration and a strategy to how you can interact and engage with them any time of the year, in different ways, because while their habits may change, we do live in a world where we're constantly craving and wanting to interact and engage. You need to be there. And a great example of that, which is part of the reason why we put it on our list here, is that over Christmas, the amount of brands that shut down over Christmas
Yeah.
and simply stop engaging with their audience. It's such a significant missed opportunity. And that's not just for people in podcasting world. It's for any brand that typically should be out there promoting their brand and their brand story, that decides that, oh, well, I'm taking a holiday, so we're just not going to do anything for 3 or 4 weeks. Now, we're not saying you've got to work all year round and work through your holidays. Have a strategy, have a smart plan, but be considered around the times of year and what your audience might be doing and how you can interact with them.
Yeah, I just don't think you can afford to turn the lights out and assume that because you're on a break, that everyone else is. Any brand out there, you go dark, what happens next after I can't find you or can't see you?
Going to go looking somewhere else.
I'm looking elsewhere and starting to find content somewhere else. So that always on mentality, just a critical piece, isn't it, to stay relevant and not to go dark and turn out the lights and potentially push your audience somewhere else. Sure thing number 5, those who have a really strong, consistent, strategic content plan are going to get the greater results.
They will. And it starts by doing a review on the year that's just been. So what's worked, what hasn't worked, what are the things you want to achieve, need to achieve the year ahead, taking those kind of things on board, looking at your overall business objective. In most cases for a business, that's clearly revenue growth, or where's the evolution of the business. Your content and audience engagement strategy should be complementary to your marketing one as well. So it's taking all those factors and putting under the house of a content and audience engagement strategy that you can roll out through the year. What you need to be mindful of is where it starts at the beginning of the year. It may not necessarily be where it'll be in 12 months. You need to know where you want to be. So it needs to be flexible enough that it can evolve throughout the year and pivot as needed. But you do need to have a plan. By doing that, it allows you to achieve just about anything you set out to do.
So the 5 sure things of 2025, podcasting will continue to grow. Visual content, must have now. AI, your friend, not a threat. Don't sleep during the off season. Have that always on mentality. And strong strategic content plan are non-negotiable.
We can help you with all of this. So if you don't know where to start, or you just want to bounce some stuff off some people that have walked the path and can offer 30 years of experience, then reach out to us. We'd love to speak to you. thinkingcapsolutions.com.au is where you can get us, or on LinkedIn, Thinking Cap Solutions, all one word.